What's up, everybody? Welcome to a very special edition of the Rose Garden Review. Um, we're gonna go over WrestleMania. Awesome two-night event for the last two nights. Let's get started with night one. Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title starts off night one. Awesome set design with the casino look. Goes well with the Vegas backdrop that they got. After a pretty good match, Jey wins his first world title. Main event, Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Champion. Congrats, Jey. Ending was kind of weird. I felt like Jey didn't do enough damage to Gunther to get him to tap out at the end there. But, again, congratulations, Jey. Main event, Jey Uso. Yeet for getting your first world title. Next up, match number 2, New Day versus the War Raiders / War Machine. Oh, by the way, that first match I gave an A+ to, so we're going to give grades to these matches. New Day versus War Raiders. Cool outfits for both teams. They both come out with some cool outfits and cool designs. Really wish that Michael Cole would stop talking about the injured necks of both of the War Raiders. Spent like a majority of the match talking about their injured necks and everything. New Day try to go for a poetry in motion. It gets reversed. Ivar of the War Raiders moves like Bam Bam Bigelow, and that's a huge compliment to a guy that size moving like that. But at the end of the match, we have new tag team champions, 12-time tag team champions, the New Day. And then next up, we have Jade Cargill. Oh, and that one I gave a B. A B. Solid B. Next up, we have Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Naomi comes out looking like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. And now it seems like Jade has a Storm from X-Men gimmick, which kind of fits her because she does kind of have that little Halle Berry vibe about her. So it kind of works. Jade does... was it Jade or was it Naomi that did the X Factor? I think it was Naomi. Naomi did it to Jade. Naomi does an X Factor over the apron to the floor to Jade, and Jade's face just bounces off the floor. It was a hell of a bump. Great. Jade does a jackhammer. Only gets a 2 count, and then later on in the match, Naomi locks in the Rings of Saturn. Give a nice little tribute to Perry Saturn there. Awesome match. Jade hits the Widow's Peak. Somebody call Victoria. She's still in your gimmick. And Jade Cargill is victorious there. I gave that one an A+. U.S. title match. L.A. Knight, yeah, versus Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu comes out with an awesome-looking mask. L.A. Knight coming out in a fancy car. Made a note here that he kind of coming out like Alberto Del Rio. Notable prick. The referee for this match, Little Nate, Charles Robinson. LA Knight goes for a sunset flip. Fatu does the Aloha Fatu spot. Some You Fucked Up chants, which I don't think they really deserved that. Jacob Fatu hits the best moonsault ever, is what I wrote down here. I called it the BME because, yeah, it kind of was. And we have a new U.S. champ in Jacob Fatu, B plus match. And then we have El Grande Americano, Chad Gable, versus Ray Phoenix. Good match, not great. Chad Gable wins with the Benoit headbutt. C match. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair for the women's title. One of the women's titles. There's two women's titles. Tiffy time. Tiffany comes out in a Barbie entrance. And then something I noticed. We're starting to call Charlotte Flair again. Okay then. A noticeable botch. And then there was a noticeable botch in the match, but it didn't make the match bad. And Tiffany Stratton, thank God, beats Charlotte Flair and retains her title. That match, I gave a B-. We have the Hall of Fame class come out, and I noticed that there's somebody missing that was inducted last night. Where the hell was Lex Luger? Hey. Congratulations. Lex Luger, you deserve it. Triple H, you deserve it. Then we get to the main event. Almost an hour left into this pay-per-view. Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. Punk has Paul Heyman at his side. Seth Rollins comes out with a flamethrower, and then the lights go out, and Seth Rollins has a outfit that looks like something that Macho Man Randy Savage would wear. And then, for CM Punk, they play This Fire Burns during his during his video package, which was great to hear. Again, love me some Killswitch Engage. And then he comes out with Living Color Live playing Cult of Personality. Punk looked good throughout the match. Punk and Rollins do a Doomsday Device. And then Rollins catches a spear from Roman into a pedigree and then stomps Roman's head. And then, at the end of the match, Paul Heyman slides a chair to CM Punk. And then he gets in the ring with Punk. Punk walks over to Roman, who's laying on the ground. Punk goes to swing that chair, but before Punk swings the chair, Paul Heyman turns on CM Punk. Hands the chair to Roman Reigns. Roman hits Punk. Paul Heyman points out, Tribal Chief, Seth Rollins is for the taking. Roman goes to hit Rollins with the chair. Paul Heyman turns his back on the Tribal Chief. One's up in the air, baby. And turns and gives the chair to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins hits Roman with the chair multiple times. Seth Rollins wins the match. Ladies and gentlemen, night one. That match, that main event match, I gave it an A+ to. So overall, we have an A+, a B, an A+, a B+, a C, a B-, and an A+. Overall grade, I'll give it an A for night one. I'll be posting up a video for night two here shortly. Johnny Rose, see you here in a few more minutes.